Hey guys, it's Scary Story Central. Today we will be talking about SCP-096. Let's get into it. SCP-096 was first discovered by the SCP Foundation in its natural habitat near a mountain in an unknown place. The Foundation sent retrieval team Zulu 9A to capture the creature. Upon landing, their chopper near the monster turned toward them, allowing all of the team except for the captain who had turned his back in order to talk to a doctor to see its face, causing it to intensely cry before violently attacking them. The team used all of their weaponry to damage the monster, but no avail. It struck the attacks off and managed to kill almost all of the team except for the captain. Then the backup team Zulu 9B arrived and were told by the surviving captain to not look at its face. Since he had figured out the reason why the monster attacked his team, they put a bag on its head and loaded it to their chopper before sending the monster to a Foundation site. SCP-096 is to be contained in its cell, a 5 meter times 5 meter times 5 meter airtight steel tube at all times. Weekly checks for any cracks or holes are mandatory. There are to be absolutely no video surveillance or optical tools of any kind inside SCP-096's cell. Security personnel will use pre-installed pressure sensors and laser detectors to ensure SCP-096's presence inside the cell. Any and all photos, videos, or recording of SCP-096's likeness likeness are strictly forbidden without approval from Dr. Dan and O5 Council. SCP-096 is a humanoid creature, measuring approximately 2.38 meters in height. Subject shows very little muscle mass with preliminary analysis of body mass suggesting mild malnutrition. Arms are grossly out of proportion with the rest of the subject's body, with an approximate length of 1.5 meters each. Skin is mostly devoid of pigmentation with no sign of any body hair. SCP-096's jaw can open to 4 times the norm of an average human. Other facial features remain similar to an average human with the exception of eyes which are also devoid of pigmentation. It is not yet known whether SCP-096 is blind or not. It shows no sign of any higher brain function and is not considered to be sapient. SCP-096 is normally extremely docile, with pressure sensors inside its cell indicating it spends most of the day pacing by the eastern wall. However, when someone views SCP-096's face, whether it be directly via video recording or even a photograph, it will enter a stage of considerable emotional distress. SCP-096 will cover its face with its hand and begin screaming, crying, and babbling incoherently approximately or two 1 to 2 minutes after the first ring. SCP-096 will begin running to the person who viewed its face, who will from this point on be referred to as SCP-096-1. Documented speeds have varied from 35 kilometers per hour to redacted kilometers per hour, and seems to depend on the distance from SCP-096-1 at this point. No known material or method can impede SCP-096's progress. The actual position of SCP-096-1 does not seem to affect SCP-096's response. It seems to have an innate sense of SCP-096-1's location. Note this reaction does not occur when viewing artistic depictions. Upon arriving at SCP-09-1's location, SCP-096 will proceed to kill and data expunged. SCP-096-1's 100% of cases have left to no traces of its composure and becoming docile once again. It will then attempt to make its way back to its natural habitat. A researcher in the SCP Foundation, only referred to as Dr. Dan, created a device called Scramble to make containing SCP-096 easier. Said device resembled night vision goggles and worked by identifying and scrambling the image of SCP-096's face. It was tested when SCP-096 entered its agitated state and breached containment due to a semi-professional mountaineer who had taken a picture taken in the 90s who had captured SCP-096's face far in the background in 4 pixels, evidently noticing the pixel's abnormality. SCP-096's cross-country beeline to reach the mountaineer caused a high number of civilian deaths along the way, when more civilians saw its face as it walked along a highway. The Mobile Task Force (TAU-1), also known as Big Brother, managed to get ahead of it and capture the citizens of the unknown town, blindfolding them and keeping them in the square. 096 soon arrived, having shrugged up hundreds of minigun rounds, so they activated Scramble. However, the device failed and led to the complete annihilation of Big Brother and the subsequent murder of the mountain hiker. Since the device allowed Vera's brain to receive 1 nanosecond of SCP-096's unscrambled facial image before the image was scrambled. After killing the last of its victim, SCP-096 was recaptured by placing a bag on its head to prevent further viewing of its face. The event was subsequently covered up as a massive plane crash since 096 had brought one down when ramping across the highway. It was later found that the scramble failed due to Dr. Dan deliberately sabotaging the device in order to show the higher-ups the immense danger posed by this monster. Realizing that any person around the world could have his image and be a potential trigger, Dr. Dan ordered the termination of SCP-096 at all costs. So O5 Command approved the order, but Dr. Dan would then be subsequently terminated since his sabotage of Scramble's production led to the death of an entire task force. Unfortunately, all attempts made by the SCP Foundation to terminate 096, including cross-tests using other SCPs such as 682, 049, and 106, has thus far failed to terminate it. As it stands, it remains in containment. Thanks for watching, guys. Please subscribe. Epic!